I love the lyrics. I love his voice. I love the soundscape. I love everything about it. I could talk about this song forever.
Today we'll be discussing House of Balloons by The Weeknd. I mean, we've noticed when we first started our channel that a lot of people were requesting...
Everyone requests House of Balloons.
House of Balloons. Unfortunately, for the sake of this channel, like, Molly's quite familiar with the album.
It's one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah.
And it hurts me when you request it. If we could do like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah, for albums.
For albums.
Yeah.
And I could remove all memory of listening to an album and listen to it again and experience it for the first time. It would be this album or OK Computer.
Oh yeah?
Radiohead. Yeah.
Mine would be Justin Bieber. We included this album in another video.
Mm-hmm. So every time you ask me to react to House of Balloons, you just out yourself as having neglected to watch our top 11 albums of all time. You don't even have to watch it. I'm holding this album in the thumbnail.
Yeah. We'll link it in the description if you guys want to check that out. So yeah, you haven't heard Thursday or Echoes of Silence, right?
No.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously you're familiar with some of his other work, the big singles and all that stuff. The reaction to Thursday will be releasing in a couple days from now. Echoes of Silence maybe in a couple weeks after that. But yeah, I think we'll just kind of discuss the album.
I first listened to it in, I think, February or March 2021, which I think is like 10 years after it was released.
Yeah.
So I was late.
In 2021, okay.
Yeah, because I remember specifically because I had just moved into a new flat and I listened to it while I was painting my living room.
Ah, okay.
So I didn't actually listen to it properly. I just like heard it passively while I was painting my walls. Sure. Which I deeply regret. But on the other hand, because I discovered it then and then I was listening to it over and over and over and over again, that was like it's special to me because that was like a very, very like significant, very weird, very hard, very necessary, transformative period of my life. And this always reminds me of it. I feel like this album, like specifically represents that period of my life. Yeah. Just because I listen to it so often. So I do deeply regret not listening to it properly, but it's still very close to my heart for a different reason.
I discovered The Weeknd. I discovered him.
You were before everyone.
No, that's not necessarily true, but I remember it vividly because R&B is like my favorite genre, especially like 90s, 2000s R&B. I remember at a certain point, like I was listening to like the popular guys were like Usher, you know, like Neo, Chris Brown, that kind of thing. And then this song came out of nowhere called What You Need, and it just kind of surfaced online, and it was accompanied by a black and white photo, and nobody knew who The Weeknd was. He was an anonymous, mysterious character at the time. And then maybe a couple of weeks later, The Morning dropped. Oh. And again, this is just on the internet. Like nobody knew what this was. Yeah. And I was like, what the hell is this? This is insane. And then he dropped the album, and the album cover, when you look at the album cover, you know, The Weeknd without the E, and it's in Helvetica. It's very stylish. Helvetica. It has like the color gradient thing and this mysterious photo of this girl in a bathtub with the balloons, and you still don't know who The Weeknd is. Yeah. And then I find out he's from Canada.
That must have been so cool, actually.
Bro.
I wish I was there.
Yeah, I feel like Frank Ocean and The Weeknd really changed R&B like forever. Just kind of the sound and the different nuances and textures they've introduced to the genre. So yeah, I guess enough of that stuff.
Yeah, we'll get to the ranking.
We're gonna rank all 9 songs from the album.
From our least favorite to our most favorite. You can let us know what your least favorite to most favorite are in the comments, but we're not ranking these objectively. This is just our opinion.
I'll let you go first.
So I think there's a definite, and for me there is a definite number 9, and it's so funny because you just mentioned it. Yeah. What You Need. Okay. I feel like when you said that, but just it's randomly on the internet. I think if I just randomly heard it on the internet, I'd be very impressed by that because it's definitely a vibe. Like it's a good song. Right. But I would never seek out that song. I don't feel like it goes anywhere. And I know that not all songs have to. I think I kind of view it as not like an interlude, but it's my number 9, so it's all up from here.
My number 9, unfortunately, I have to say, like, they're all good, so that's why it's hard. But
this was really hard.
Yeah, it was harder than I thought, like putting it together. But number 9 would be The Knowing for me. I don't dislike it, but I just feel like the other songs for me are just I don't know, they're just better.
That's the thing, like with What You Need, like it's a good song, but compared to the rest, for me, it's just not on the same level.
I think the annoying for me is just like, first of all, it's like really sad, and it's also like a slower track. So it's not as immediate as the other ones. So even though you want to say like a Wicked Games, for instance, which is a sadder song, but it has more of a punch, I think.
Yeah.
The Knowing, for sure, if you listen to the whole album, I mean, that's a perfect finale for the album.
It is a great.
But that's where I landed. Number 9. So what's your number 8 song?
My number 8 is The Knowing.
Okay.
I think it's a beautiful song. Yeah. I think I should clarify. I think it's a beautiful song, and it, like you said, it's an amazing finale. It's super, super powerful. Yeah. Like especially at the very end, it kind of almost sounds like a choir is singing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really powerful. Such a beautiful song. It's so sad.
Yeah.
And like, I listen to a lot of sad music. Radiohead is my favorite band. I'm familiar with sad.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that kind of sad. It's a different kind of sad. It makes me a very particular kind of sad that I do not seek out. Because sometimes when I'm sad, I want to wallow in my sadness and listen to sad music. Yeah. That's not a kind of sad I ever want.
No, I totally understand. So my number 8 pick, I hate to say this, but it's Loft Music.
Wow.
Yeah. I hate to say that because it has a sample of it has a Beach House sample on that one, and I love Beach House. We're talking about our top 5 bands, our favorite 5 bands, and Beach House is one of mine. I think for me it's the cadence, like his flow on that song. For me, it's just a bit different from the rest of the album. So it sounds different. I do like the breakdown, like the second half, and how it kind of slows down. And it's a great song.
It is a great song.
But again, just the way I kind of stacked things up. The way I did it was like, okay, what songs would I put over this? Like, what if I want to listen to The Weeknd right now? What songs am I putting over this? And I just happened to put 7 other songs over it. So I love Loft Music. Again, I love Beach House as well. It's a good song. Just ended up there.
My number 7. This is hilarious. It's Loft Music.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Loft Music. Kind of for a similar reason.
Okay.
I think now I really like this song actually. Like I often will listen to this song. The same as you. If we're putting things above it, like one, it's kind of samey throughout the first part. Like it's just kind of all the same.
Yeah.
I do really, really like when it changes. However, I don't think that needs to be 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
I think when you're listening to it passively, fantastic. But if I were to listen to this, like just sit and listen to music with headphones, and I had 3 minutes of what you thinking about.
Yeah. So my number 7 is What You Need. So we have the same bottom 3, just in different order.
That's pretty hilarious.
The thing about What You Need is it was a different sound when it came out. So like, as I said before, I was listening to like Usher and Neo. At the time too, it was like Miguel and The Dream, like more progressive R&B artists. But this was just totally different. I was like, whoa, what is this? And he's very mysterious. So I'm like, okay, what's brewing here?
He even has a mysterious sound.
Yeah, and people need to understand, like, most of the R&B now has this trap beats and stuff like that. And like I felt like this album really was a pioneer for all of that. But I just remember hearing that, and it was really dark. I liked that his voice was kind of like, there was a lot of reverb in his voice, his vocals. So it was something different. It was different. It was totally different. However, I will agree with you with the fact that it kind of lingers, not in a bad way, but I just feel like the other songs that we're gonna mention have way more dynamic, way more punch, I would say. Whereas this is more like a chill vibe. It does great in the background kind of thing. Yeah. For chilling. Yeah. That's just where it ended up. Now it gets interesting. Track number 6 for you. Number
5 and 6 for me were really hard to choose between. Yeah. Because either of them, I feel like on different days,
I'm going to be the same way. But you go on it. Go on.
Because even last night, like I compiled the list before, and then last night I was thinking about it, and I was like, wait, actually, would I put this at number 5 and the other one at number 6?
Right.
I'm going to stay true to my original list.
Okay.
House of Balloons / Glass
Oh,
Table Girls.
wow.
I know.
Okay.
This is an amazing song.
Yeah.
I adore the first part.
Right.
I love the Susie and the Banshees sample. My mom pointed that out. I had no idea. She's like, that's Susie
Your
and the
mom's a
Banshees.
legend.
She is
Your mom's a legend.
She is. She's so good at music. But yeah, I love the first part.
Right.
I feel when it gets to the second part, it's a different kind of energy.
Yeah.
And it's still great, but when I was comparing it against things, because it starts so high, and then it kind of ends less so.
Sure.
I had to make a decision, and this is where it ended up.
As I've been saying the whole time, like, this is hard, but track 6, I would go with High for This.
Wow.
High for This is track number 6. I know.
Wow.
I thought it'd be higher.
Damn.
But the way it stacked up, yeah, it's an amazing intro to the album. It sets it up perfectly.
So good.
I like when he sings, like, the first words were like, you don't know what's in store. So it's kind of like obviously singing to a girl, but it's also like to the listener. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're getting yourself into right now. So it's an amazing track.
Yeah,
it's an amazing track. But again, just the way it stacks up, if I compare it to some of the other songs here, that's kind of where I landed.
I have to preface this with, this absolutely hurts me.
Oh no.
Because 5 feels like it doesn't do any justice, but compared to the other songs, I will provide my reasoning. My number 5 is the party and the after party.
You gotta be kidding me, bro.
I know. I feel so bad. I do. I feel so bad. The beach house sample in that is incredible. It's perfect. I adore this song. I love it so much. I especially love the first part. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Kind of like House of Balloons. It's kind of similar in that it starts higher energy, not necessarily high energy, but higher, and then gets less so towards the end. So when I was kind of comparing it against the others, I was like, okay, but I like when he provides that same energy or builds an energy.
Yeah.
Whereas these, I was like, okay, I much prefer the first half, and then the second half less so. So that the second halves of these songs kind of brought it down for me.
Sure.
But I love this song.
Yeah.
So putting it at number 5 kind of hurted. Kind of hurt me. I don't think there's a huge difference in energy, but when I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, the party and the after party, maybe that's intentional in some way because the party.
Right.
But I had to be true to myself, and that second part.
I can't believe you have this at number 5.
I'm honestly so sorry. I'm so sorry.
My number 5 is the party and the after party. I honestly thought that would be higher.
Yeah, me
like
too.
The way I stacked it up, I was like, I keep saying stacked it up in this video. I cannot believe I had it at number 5.
It really hurts, doesn't it?
Again, for the same reasons. Like, I love the beach house sample.
It's so good.
I love his cadence in this one. Especially when he starts doing I don't want to sing, but I love his flow in that, and when he says like the
Louis V bags.
Yeah, exactly. That Louis V bag part.
Tats on your arm. Yeah. Wow, it's so good.
High heel shoes make you 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's so good. And it hurts so much. Yeah.
And you know what? I actually like the transition. I like when it goes to the after party. The only thing that I would remove though is that part dragged on a little bit.
Yeah, that's the thing.
There was one part where it was perfect. If it not ended, but like if he kept that and then it went to the outro and that was it. But then he added that other verse where he says, I got a new girl called her Rudolph and all that. And it kind of just
drags on.
Yeah. That's the only criticism I have of that song.
Of an otherwise perfect song. Yeah, I was like, oh, for sure this is going to be like in the like top.
And it's funny because
I was like, oh.
Yeah, like because we love the song.
Yeah, it's so good. It's like one of the defining songs of the album.
It is, and it was one of the reasons why that really pulled me into the album. Where when I got to that track, I was like, okay, well, I'm this is my guy.
Yeah.
For him to sample Beach House in the first place, I was like, oh my goodness, like
it's so
this
good.
is it. But
we are so sorry. My number 4, I feel like could have been number 3, but I will explain why it's not number 3 when I get to number 3.
Okay.
My number 4 is High for This.
Okay.
And I'm disgusted that you put it so low. Wow. If I could listen to this for the first time again with headphones on, and that was the first song, I would die. I would die and go to heaven. This is incredible. And I love how it starts off like kind of not slower, kind of like it starts off more gently, and then the bass comes in. Oh my god.
Well, I guess like the drums were kind of like filtered.
Yeah,
so you didn't really know where it was going.
And then at the start it's just at the very start and then his singing, there's like, it's just kind of, there's just no bass, but he gets to the chorus and then it comes in and I'm like, oh my god, it's so good. And I love how it starts off like kind of more gently, and then it gets into this, like the bass comes in, and then at the end when he's saying like oh or whatever, it's so good. I wish so much I could listen to this for the first time with headphones. I'll listen to it with headphones after this. Wow, so good.
It's an amazing song.
Yeah.
As I said, it's an amazing song. Oh man, I can't believe this. Okay, so track number 4. This actually wasn't track number 4, but I'm making the change now.
Oh.
Yeah, track number 4 is House of Balloons, Glass Table Girls. It's just such an amazing song. It's such an amazing song. Like, especially after What You Need. Like, it's very unexpected.
Yeah.
I actually liked the second half because it got pitched down and it got super dark. And then he starts, I don't know if you want to call it rapping, but I don't know. It just puts you in this other environment where it's just very off-putting.
Yeah, it is off-putting.
It's just super dark. I love it. I love the electronic elements. So as I said, this was actually number 3. I've made the change now just because I need to be true to myself. I'll share number 3 in a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
My number 3 could have been number 4, but my number 3 is Coming Down. So the reason, because Coming Down and High for This were kind of tied for me. But one thing took Coming Down above High for This. We used to listen to it on the phone together all the time.
That's why it what?
You had it in a playlist during the pandemic. During the pandemic, we used to just spend like 4 hours at least a day on the phone together. And Archie had a playlist he would put on all the time. We would listen to music together, and Coming Down was on that playlist. So I have amazing, even though pandemic was not amazing, I have amazing memories attached to that song. So I had to put it above High for This. Other than that, I think the vibe is perfect. I think it's exceptional. It's so dark, but also very sexy. It's so good.
My number 3 song is Coming Down. So you're saying the exact same things I was about to say. I was gonna say, like, it's dark and sexy.
It's so dark and so sexy.
It's good on so many different levels. I've had it on multiple playlists. Like, definitely the playlist that we used to listen to a lot. So I had a House of Balloons above it. I kind of made that decision yesterday, to be honest, because I just love the dynamics of House of Balloons. But Coming Down, if we're just being honest, like, I play that shit a lot, you know.
Sounds so like sinister, and I
think when it starts, it has that kind of like I don't want to say drone or a pad in the beginning, and it's
kind of like empty.
And then, but it's there the entire song, like you're just in it.
Thinking about it, I'm like, fuck, it's such a good
You're just
song.
kind of like it's like the sonic equivalent of like a haze, like a smoke haze. And then more technical stuff, but the drums, if you listen to the drum pattern, it's freaking genius. Like,
there's only the guitar and the drums in the beginning. Then it gets to that amazing sample. I think he has a sample, a bit of it throughout, and then it has the whole thing in like Japanese. He sampled like an anime or a Japanese film or something like this. And then it brings in the keys. And his vocals are insane on that. If you listen closely to the drums, it's not like every few bars, it's not the same. It's actually a bit different. And I was like, that attention to detail for me was just insane. Actually, at this point, I also want to give a shout out to the producers. Like, there's Elangelo and I think his name is Dom Kennedy.
they kind of helped establish his signature sound for this, and they've gone on to help produce like some of his other work, like the other parts like of Thursday and Echoes of Sounds as well. Number two, I think that if my first and second choice, obviously all we have left is The Morning and Wicked Games. I think if those were the only two good songs on this album, if everything else was mid, these two songs would make it worth it. They are two of the most incredible songs I have ever heard. However, one of them means more to me. So my number two is Wicked Games. I think it's a perfect vibe. I think it's a perfect song overall. Yeah.
The same as Coming Down. It's so dark. It also sounds so sexy. It's just an amazing song. Yeah. It's a perfect song and perfect vibe. I love it so much. This could easily be number one if not for The Morning. Right. I just love it. I love it so much. It's one of the main reasons I miss having a piano. Oh, wow. I had to leave my piano in Scotland. It's really sad. I think the lyrics are amazing. I think his voice is amazing. Yeah. I feel like he maintains this amazing energy throughout, but in my head it like gets more powerful as the song goes on. Yeah. I just love it so much. Number two for me is Wicked Games. Yeah, Wicked Games is fucking amazing. It's so good. Yeah, it's a phenomenal song. Yeah, phenomenal is correct. Just like when you listen to it, you feel his pain. But you feel the vibes as well. And the thing too is his melody and his voice, like it gets better. So like you hear the intro where it's just I think it's a guitar. Is it a guitar? I think it's a guitar. It doesn't really matter. But you hear the instrumental without the drums. Then it cuts off, and then you hear the. I left my. And then that melody is just amazing. Yeah. That vibe, and then it goes to the bridge. Yeah. Listen, I'm like, wow. It's so good. And then it goes to the chorus, bro. I know. I was like, yo, this guy just really killed him with three amazing melodies. It's so in one song. Yeah. And then it gets better, like you said, the energy, like it amps up as it goes along. Yeah. Like that's a perfect if that's like a sad song, you have to make a sad song. That's the way to do it. Like it's a sad banger. He sounds mean in it. Yeah. Yeah, it's a mean song, but damn, it's so good. It's such a vibe. It's such a vibe. I'm very passionate about this song. I think Wicked Games is definitely one of his best songs. I wish I could hear that with headphones. But yeah, so number one is it's The Morning. The Morning. So initially it was hard for me. I was like, oh, is it The Morning? Is it Wicked Games? But when I actually thought it through, it was very strongly The Morning. Yeah. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. I may consider it top 10 songs of all time. Whoa. Yeah. If I do one song per artist. Sure. Yeah. Okay. I think it would be in my top 10 favorite songs of all time. It's an amazing song. When I hear the first chord, I get this feeling that I can't even explain. And it's like, I guess, like I said in the start of the video, like, I feel like this was the first song. When I listened to the album, I feel like this was the first song that kind of stuck with me. Okay. Like got stuck in my head. Right. And then I just listened to it over and over and over and over and over so much. I just absolutely love this song. And even though this album as a whole is like a representation of that time in my life, this song specifically, if there was any song for that time, it's this song. Wow. So when I listen to it, when I hear the first chord, because it was a very necessary period in my life, but it was very hard and very strange and uncomfortable. So when I hear the first chord, it gives me this feeling like in the pit of my stomach, and it's almost like uncomfortable, but it's amazing. It means so much to me. Wow, yeah, it's just amazing. I love the lyrics. I love his voice. I love the soundscape. Yeah. I love everything about it. I think I could talk about this song forever. I absolutely love The Morning. It's a perfect song. Nice. Yeah, I love it so much. So obviously number one is The Morning for me as well. I mean, I can't really top that explanation. The instrumentation is amazing. Like the way that it starts off with a freaking guitar solo. And you know me, I love my guitar solos. Guitar solos. And it has the trap drums, all the different effects. He has a line in there where he says, Cali is the mission. And that pretty much carried through his whole career. Like,
And he goes back to that song on After Hours. So The Morning is definitely a classic. There's so many quotables in that song. His voice is amazing.
Yeah.
The hook is infectious. Like that's one of the best hooks you'll hear.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, the guitar work's insane. It's just so intricate. It has the space to just kind of, I don't know. It's just really expertly done.
It's so good. I'm just thinking about how good it is, and I'm like, wow, it's such a good song.
Yeah, and for me personally, I think it's in my top 3 favorite Weeknd songs. So yeah, The Morning.
Such a good song. I'm pretty comfortable in my order.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have no regrets.
Like I said, it kind of got cloudy a bit, but I mean, that's...
Every single song, we know, every single song on this album is fantastic.
Right.
But yeah, you had to make some decisions. So let us know yours.
Like I said, stay tuned. We're going to do Thursday.
Hopefully this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend it should come out. Thursday this weekend. We're definitely going to do Echoes of Silence. And then we'll definitely go down the road and...
Yeah, so for example, with like After Hours and Dawn FM, I have heard those, but passively. I haven't sat down and listened to them. I haven't listened to them properly, like tried to like hear what he's saying. Definitely haven't like followed the narrative, haven't listened to it with headphones. Please let us know if you're interested nonetheless in me continuing on to those albums.
Yeah.
To complete the Weeknd journey.
I'm just kind of excited to do the Weeknd just because number 1, he's one of my favorite artists. And number 2, I kind of want to just like, listen to other stuff.
Yeah. We've done a lot of rap.
Exactly. Done a lot of hip hop. We're not going to stop, but it's kind of nice to just kind of sprinkle some of these in.
Yeah.
For sure, just for variety. Yeah. Again, like she said, let us know what you think. What are your favorite songs from the album? How would you guys rank it? What does it mean to you guys?
What does it represent for you?
Yeah. Let us know when you first heard it, and that'll be kind of interesting.
Yeah. Discuss.
We'll see you guys.
Yeah. See you this weekend.
The next video.
Yeah.
And
thanks.
Yeah, thanks. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my God.
I think that's fine. I think it's fine.